EVO.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Finding Me. I'm Josh Wolf. Super grateful to be here today. Feeling really good this week. This is a podcast just about me being accountable to me and refinding authentic Josh, really. I've found that these daily check-ins have done me a world of good already. In ways that I never thought would happen. So this has been such a cool journey already. 25 episodes, everybody. Just for me to do this every day for 5 weeks is legit fucking crazy. That I've kept this promise to myself. And it feels really, really good. I'm also holding the phone between my legs. So it's like a mini thigh master happening right now. If the camera starts to shake, that'll be my leg muscles being like, we've had enough. But that being said, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're doing something for yourself today and tomorrow and every day. And let me jump right out. I'm in Tempe, Arizona right now with Jacob. We have shows in Phoenix and Tempe this weekend. And I spent the whole morning already with him. Just laughing and having fun and talking. I'm so grateful for this time with him. I really wish I could spend this amount of time with my other 2 kids. It's such a meaningful time. I am soaking up every second. I know this doesn't last forever, and I know there are very few people who get the opportunity to do this. I almost got emotional at breakfast, just sitting there. He was talking to me about J. Cole, and he's dropping his last album, I guess. And Jacob is a huge J. Cole fan. And he talked to me all about, what J. Cole meant to him and all. And it was, I know it seems so innocuous, but it's so special to me every second. I don't, the gratitude I have to be able to do this with him and spend this fucking truly one-on-one time with my adult child is like, I know when I look back on my career that this will be the thing that I remember the most. This, so far it's been 3 years and who knows how much longer. But this time with him, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Anything. If I go to the show tonight and 0 people are there, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck in the grand scheme of things? Because I spent all day today laughing and hanging with my son, man. And there are times when we'll sit together at a table and not say a word. He'll be on his phone or we'll both be doing something, and those are just as good. So, and honestly, I never get to this point without you guys, truthfully. I'm not doing this as long as I have been doing it without people. So I owe a debt of gratitude to all of you. And today I wanted to, I really went back and forth. By the way, if you want to ask me questions, comments, finding me with Josh Wolf at gmail.com, finding me with Josh Wolf at gmail.com. And I went back and forth about having a comment/email episode. because I've said this since the beginning, this is truly for me. And if it's for me, and I've said I'm not looking at the comments or views, and I'm not. My producer Brandon is sending me all these comments, just screenshots of them. And why read the comments if it's just for you? And legitimate question. It's why I've gone back and forth about it. But a couple things. I respond a lot on social media. For a while I didn't, because it was messing with my mental. But I respond because if you take the time to make a comment, and I have the time, I'm happy to take the time to comment back. I mean, we're all taking a little time out of our day. You took a little time for me, I'll take a little time for you. You take a little time to send a comment, I'll take a little time for you. Now, I'm sure Brandon curated these comments. So the ones that are like, hey, pussy, stop talking about your feelings or shit like that aren't on there. But I do want to go over a couple of these. I want to read them and just kind of respond if I can. And so I'll go in order of how they were sent to me. Okay. What just happened on my screen? When somehow you zoom in and you don't know how. Anyways, we have, I appreciate all the comments, guys. And I'm going to try to read as many as I can. And I'll start from the top. Both Chris and Tony Munoz, good man right there. Love this side of Josh. Thank you. Lucky to Pug wrote, bruh, what happened? This was reminding me of all the good in life, and it's just policy now. Big L's, man. Okay. Maybe he didn't curate all of them. But I do want to respond to this. First of all, dude, appreciate you listening or watching. I have no problem with people voicing their opinion. It reminds me of something my dad said to me once, which was one of the best lessons that I was ever taught. I snapped at him one night. He asked me a question. Okay. I put on the David Ortiz roast, which was like the first real roast of a athlete, right? And my dad came and I produced it, and it was awesome. We sold out the House of Blues in I think like 7 minutes in Boston. Great people up on the dais: Anthony Mackie, Bill Burr, Adam Ray, Sarah Tiana, Rob Gronkowski, and a bunch of other people, including me. And after the show, my dad was like, man, it was so good. I said, thank you. And he said, did you ever think if this comedy thing doesn't work out, you could start producing shows? And he said comedy thing, which just triggered me, because I was like, comedy thing? You mean my fucking job? The thing that I've been busting my ass for, that I leave my family for every weekend, that I've been doing since you had to drive me to my first open mic. And I know he didn't mean anything by it, but like the comedy thing. And I kind of went off a little bit. And I went up to my room and I was really mad at myself for doing that. I don't snap. I definitely don't snap my parents. My parents are great people. I went down the next morning and my dad said to me, I said to him, I go, dude, I really want to apologize. I snapped. I shouldn't have snapped. And he goes, no reason to apologize. I was like, yeah, I went too far. And he said, no, you were honest. And the rule in life is don't ask a question if you're not prepared for the answer. If you're only prepared for the answer that you want, you're going to be disappointed 90% of the time. So I was not upset. You were very honest with me. If I'm not prepared for an answer I don't like, I shouldn't ask the question. And so that's why I don't mind somebody's opinion on this. But I will tell you, this response means I'm doing the right thing. Means this is exactly the podcast / journal entry I want to be doing. I have been too careful in my public life. about not stating opinions. Too careful. And look, man, if you are watching somebody and you're going to get mad or not like the person because of a differing, one differing opinion, dude, there's only one person in the world who you're going to agree with every opinion that they have, and that's you. Everybody's a shade of gray for everybody else. Everybody. I had a friend of mine who I had to cut off for a little bit, and I called my dad, and my dad's a smart dude. And I was telling him I had to cut him off. He goes, "Why?" And I told him, and he was like, "This is on you." And I said, "Why?" And he said, you know who he is. This is who he's always been. It's the repetitive behavior that's bothering you, but you keep going back for it. Either accept him for who he is or move on entirely. But you can't ask him to change because of something you don't like. It's up to you. You want to deal with it or not. But that's not his problem. That's your problem. You keep putting yourself in a position to be disappointed, and you know who he is. And so what I would say to you, Lucky the Pug, also, I do think it's a bummer that when you disagree with somebody that it goes to insult. I think we can just disagree. But when you start to insult, what that told me is I hurt your feelings in a way. Oops, sorry. There, the leg muscles just dropped. I hurt your feelings in a way because you heard something that you didn't like. And so it triggered you. But this tells me I'm doing the right thing. When you're authentic, there's, or I'm assuming, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who don't like that. They don't like that part about you. But the more people who, voice displeasure means that you're being authentically you know what I mean? For me, anyways. Most people, if they've ever voiced displeasure about me, it's about my comedy, because that's all I've ever really put out there. So I want you to know and dude, I would say this. Do you want to follow somebody who changes what they do because other people say so? So I would say to you, man, it's exactly what this show is. It's not the same thing every day. The world is not roses every day. You know what I mean? So if you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. If you watch, you watch. If you don't, you don't. And yeah, that's it. Okay, Jose Albaran. Life Diary is crazy. It's insane to see you speak about this. Love you have a voice. Oh, thank you so much. So Jose's talking about, it's a long, yeah. It is scary. And I have a daughter too, Jose. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Someone touched my daughter, 40-year-old touched my daughter, dude. 50-year-old touched my grown man, touched my daughter. I'm going to prison for life, but with a smile on my face. Fuck these motherfuckers. That's it. You don't get to rape kids. I'm not sure why it's a debate. Amy, thank you for saying what's going on. I have no words to describe it. It's soul crushing. Agreed. Okay, let me go on to a couple more. John Swick, I don't think people should be shot in the street, but I also don't think they should be following federal agents around interfering with their duties. Stay the fuck home or protest lawfully. Yeah, man, I haven't seen a lot of people interfering with their duties. And a lot of people, most of them, 99% of them are protesting lawfully and still getting tear gassed and arrested. So I would disagree with you on that. Miss you too, Sarah. A lot of comments about how my Roadcaster would pop in. Fuck that thing. I'm so glad it's broken. But I hope the ghost didn't hear that. But a lot of people laughing about this. Somebody was talking about the mold episode. I can't read from this far away. El Guapo, 400. Sounds like a horrible experience. We're going through it now in our bathroom, but already in the process of buying some property. Yeah. Woo! How about this? It's turned my wife into, they're talking about mold, into a completely different person and just stack more issues on top of my chronic Lyme disease. Listen, that's so crazy. Doctor said nothing wrong with me and sent me to a therapist because he thought I was faking my symptoms. Hey, if you're not on cholestyramine, go get some cholestyramine. That is the strongest thing around to pull the mold. Cholestyramine, cholestyramine, cholestyramine. After it's pulled, I use carboxy, this thing called carboxy, every day. Well, I try to use it every day. Sometimes I forget. But it pulls toxins. The cholestyramine is powerful, though, man. You can't take it around food or your vitamins because it takes everything. It's got to be 4 hours on either side. But the cholestyramine, and it's thick, but get on it. First things first, get out of the mold. Hunter also likes the machine, changing my voice. Oh, that bothered the shit out of me. But Lucky the Pug, you wrote absolutely a blessing hearing this every morning. Love you. Okay. Oh, you just didn't like the other one. This is amazing. From T. Brossi. I'm sure you get this a lot, but I'm probably not your average listener. I'm a 19-year-old girl with a dad who fell victim to addiction. And just listening to you talk about how much you put in to take care of yourself makes my every day. Please never stop. Well, that means so much. The idea that I am helping people in any way is a big deal for me. Truly a big deal for me. I want you to know that. I don't take that lightly. When people are in my meet and greets and they're like, your comedy got me through whatever they say, it's so humbling. We had a kid, Jacob and I, mom told me after the show that he was severely autistic and had been never doesn't leave the house, had been practicing for 3 months to leave the house. He started just taking 1 foot outside and bringing it back in the front door to get prepared to come to my show. The idea that I could have that type of positive effect on people is so humbling and is honestly one of the things that has kept me going doing this. It's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Audie, I completely understand how you, oh, the email I put up there, F, believe or want to stop smoking, do a better role model for your son. Yeah, the truth of the matter is he's a grown up now. He's going to smoke. So, 20, this is a long title, so I can't read it. Can you speak on what you're seeing differently now? I remember listening to you at the time during Controlled Chaos, talking about being amazing and being everything you wanted to do. It was. At the time, it was amazing and everything I wanted to do. One of my favorite things I've ever done. It was amazing and everything I wanted to do at the time, for sure. And saying your comedy is stale, all last year you were saying how refreshed and excited you were doing stand-up. Yeah. Well, that's true also. But I change, times change. I go through pockets where I am humming with comedy. And then I get bored. And part of, I think, what makes me really good at my job, but really also strength is weakness, is when I'm doing something, it is in that moment everything that I want to do. It is in that moment exactly what I want to be doing. And I'm all in. I fucking love it, including this. And Control Chaos was so fun. It was so loose and so free. And I would do it again, except maybe a little differently because I never go back. People have asked me to restart. I had a production company be like, you want to do Control Chaos? I'm like, I did it. That's why I went back and I tried to do the High Live over again. And it was a moment in time. And when I step out, if I come back 6 months later, I'm a different human. I'm a different artist. I have different ideas. So it was, and it was to both of those things. What I'm seeing differently now is I'm just a different person. I'm not a different person, but I'm a different person. I mean, it's so funny to me when I hear people say that guy flip-flopped from what he said 10 years ago. Well, I hope so. You know what I mean? If you're the same person you were a decade ago, that's not a positive in my mind. I'm a different human. And so yeah, I'm just seeing it differently through the lens of who I am now. And that's all I can do is report on who I am now, you know? This has been a great start to the week. Thank you, James. Appreciate it very much. Let me see what else I got. Brandon really curated these. This is nice. Rachel, whenever my parents feel like they should have done something more differently while they were growing up, I just remind them that all 4 of their adult offspring live independently but still want to talk and visit them. Keep loving your people and doing what you do, Josh Wolf. It makes a difference. Again, that means so much. And I don't take that for granted that I have a great relationship with all my kids. And as a parent, you always look back. There's no perfect parent. There are plenty of holes in my game. Do you know? Plenty of holes in my game. Love is not one of them. Support is not one of them. Loyalty is not one of them. I am there for my kids, ride or fucking die. Now, did I prepare them all the best for the world? No, I'm sure there are other people that instilled, you know, more nose to the grindstone or more structured or lots of things. I have lots of weaknesses as a parent. I struggled mightily with my son and daughter going to rehab. Mightily. You know, and so I'm not perfect, but I love them unconditionally without a doubt. And for me, that's my best foot forward. I know that's the best thing that I can offer them, for me, to them. Okay. Bellamy, I appreciate what you're doing there. And let me tell you, I'm almost in that same situation. By the way, I'm reading these basically for the first time, so I have no idea what. I'm 32 and I'm trying to heal from my childhood drama, which is going good. But to hear that stuff from you and realizing to myself, yeah, who am I really, is crazy. It's kind of scary, but I know when I get there, I'm going to be all right forever. I started praying again in 2026 and things are clearing up for me. I'm learning so much about myself. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but I'm glad that you're trying to heal from your childhood trauma. We all got it. We all got it. And it's not easy, you know. And I'm wishing you all the success and peace in this world, my friend. Jessica, I appreciate all that you and Jacob do. This year is going to be the year of new beginnings, so this made me happy. I'm not alone, trying to be the best version of me. Keep going. You are enough. You are enough too, Jessica. That's all I want to be, is the best version of myself, because that's the only thing I can control, is the best version of me. And I don't even know what that is. And the best version of me, ironically, and I don't know if this is true, we'll find out soon enough, but the best version of me might not be the best version for other people. Isn't that weird? You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. Last page, and then I got to go. El Guapo, as a fan and practitioner of Stoicism and its values, I love this title. Oh, thank you. It's about as honest of a saying as there is. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. As for testosterone, it's kind of awesome waking up with a rock hard like you're 16. No, that's the problem. I don't want that libido. Pass. Who's got time for that? Shit. That's what's been holding me back. Well, I'm going to try it. That's all. Carrie or Corey Clark. That's all life is, trial and error. Yeah. The goal is not to fuck up in the same way twice. This is 100% right. Everyone's going to fuck up. Everyone's gray. I don't understand unless they're a pedophile or, kill somebody or do something terrible. But I don't understand the cutting somebody out of their life. Oh, my hands are shaky and my legs aren't. Okay. The cutting somebody out of their life just because they've got it, you know, there are a lot of people that have opinions you don't like. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of chips, Crystal. However, my go-to ones are Sun Chips. Blocked. Sorry, Crystal. This is where I draw the line. Did I say everyone is entitled to their opinion? Except that one. Sun Chips are your number one chip? I don't even know where to put that. They're not even in my top 10, Crystal. But you're still invited to the party. 25 minutes. Last one. Hilarious that this is the last one. Brittany, is shitting in a mailbox considered a federal crime? It depends why you're putting the shit in the mailbox. Is it because, like what happened to me this week, where I stepped in someone's dog shit? Not someone. You know what I mean? I think that deserves a poop in the mailbox. But it's a good question. Anyways, guys, Phoenix and Tempe this weekend. Next week, I'm taking off to go visit Beth in New Orleans for Valentine's Day. And a week after, we're in Kansas City, and then I'm on Tammy's pontoon cruise. That's going to be a fucking riot. But come see us on the road, comedianjoshwolf.com. This is Finding Me. You guys, guess what? You know what I'm going to tell you? I'm looking right into the camera. This works well for me. You are enough. Only one of you. One of fucking one. So, go be you. Finding Me with Josh Wolf. Later.